Just remember this, my gorgeous aquamarini. Number one, things are not always what they seem they are. Number two, you are being called upon the leadership in your life, okay? And at the same time, number three, you need to understand that you have the key to the solution that you're gonna be persistently worrying about. At the same time, when it comes to the beginning of this week, what you also need to remember, maybe I should have said number four, what you also need to remember, that you're about to plant a very important seeds, and the seeds that you are planting right now are gonna grow to become absolutely remarkable in as little as 7 weeks time. Okay? So this is what you need to understand, because I know that you are going to be under so much pressure. But the important thing to remember is to just keep going, and keep going. Because the moment in time when everything seems like so much, there is going to be so much you're going to need to deal with. There is so much that you will be dealing with. At that moment in time, you're the most powerful as well when it comes to manifesting things. I know it sounds crazy, but when it comes to planting seeds as well, you will be planting important spiritual seeds this week, and these seeds are going to literally change your life. But there are going to be so many distractions that you are going to have on a personal level, and you must not allow these distractions to take the better of you. You just need to remember to keep going and change your mind about these distractions. Just see them as like in a different light, and that's all you need to do in order to break free. In order to break free in so many different ways, personally and spiritually, but also at the same time, it's going to help you to move on, and this is ever so important. So, these seeds are going to be well planted. You need to understand this, and at the same time, you're gonna be rewarded for this like there is no tomorrow. And also, my gorgeous aquamarini, at the beginning of this week, what can I say to you? Because I know that personally you're going through so much. It is very difficult for you at the moment, because you are seeing so many masks being fallen around you, and so many people showing their true bloody colors. And these true bloody colors that they are showing, maybe I shouldn't say bloody, sorry, but these true colors that I know there are lots of sensitive people out there, but there are lots of, these people are going to show their true colors. And the problem is, these people who have been showing their true colors around you, it's not like just Mary and Jane, you know what I mean, behind the corner, in the next street, down the road. It's not about Mary and Jane down the road, but it's about some people in your life. And you've learned not that long ago how, not necessarily that somebody who is like so close to you or so connected to you is necessarily gonna be completely honest with you. It's gonna be like someone who is like a prominent person in your life in terms of them being so nice and them being so honest. This is the problem, that this is to do with the certain people in your lives that have showed their horrible faces, and it's like almost as if like you have found yourself thinking, do they even love me? Do they even mean anything to them? Do you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of greed that it's actually going on at the moment. And this is why you have to stay strong, because I know it's not ideal what I'm gonna say, but as I said, it doesn't mean if the certain people are in our lives like connected to us, like really like a family members or a great friends, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily gonna be like a completely goody-goody, like a nicey-nicey. It's sad. It's really sad. That's all what I can say, because these are the people that certain people are pretty much so a lot in your life, very much so connected to you, and you've known them for a long time. Maybe you have even been changing their nappies. Do you know what I mean? And this is why it's so hard for you to believe that certain people are the way they are. But that you just need to take it as a as an example of how life can turn out to be, and how people are not always like, it's even when it comes to people, it's not always what people seem that they are. So this is something that already kind of like did affect you and broke your heart a little bit, but then at the same time, trust me, this is just gonna make you even more stronger, even more powerful. You will see how different you are, and this is where your power is, my gorgeous Aquamarini, indeed. So don't let that distract you. I know it's hard to say, but don't let that distract you. It's not something that you haven't been aware of before, but it's just like kind of like, it's gonna be a lot on your mind. It's really going to surprise you how people can be, and you're not going to be able to understand where this is coming from. And the only like normal explanation for that would be like really emotionally stuck people who are not able to see anything else in their lives apart from money, for example, or apart from materialistic things. Materialistic things and money can really, really change people, can be horrible. Materialistic things and money, sometimes as soon as people start getting money, or if it's to do with the money, people can become very evil and very horrible and very selfish. And this is when you can see like whether there are any emotions in between you and certain people in your lives as well. So it's important to know where you are. I mean, come on, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not being dark. I'm not saying every single person in your life is like this. No, baby, no. But there are just few different people close to you that you have been really kind of surprised about. You were thrown back, thrown out of balance. You just can't believe this, You say one thing and they intentionally take these things in a completely different way. Almost like they're doing it on purpose because they don't want to understand where you're coming from. They're just seeing the dark side of things. And this is only because they're the bastards with the darkness in their mind, in their subconscious mind, not being able to see you for who you are. They're seeing you for something else, and I know it's hard, but you have to understand that you're different, and you have to understand that, when people are different, people are full of light. And when people are full of light, sadly, the light attracts darkness. And this is exactly what's happening right now. And you need to stay on top of that. So just focus on things that you are working on, that you are trying to do, that you are trying to achieve, because something amazing is going to happen by the end of this week. So also take it as a blessing. The more you find out, oh my God, the most masks are fallen, the more be excited about it, because every single time when a certain mask falls, at that particular time you are kind of like really ready for something new at the same time. But it's not about that. It really increases your power of manifestation. So first of all, you're like kind of, oh God, upset, but then very soon later you will see some kind of option that you didn't see before that you should really do, and you're going to be reminded of something each time certain masks fall. You're going to be reminded of something that was on your mind, like a long time ago, that you need to start with. And I've seen this before. My gorgeous Aquamarini, about a year ago, yeah, I know you're gonna attack me now. Yeah, oh my God, what did I talk about a year ago? About a year ago, you had this idea to do something really big, to start something really big, to start something really crazy, and then you kind of pulled back. And then in the meantime, other things happened and the snakes showed their faces, and then you realized, oh my God, I should have gone with that idea. So that idea is going to be back on your mind. You need to, I've seen this before, I'm repeating this on purpose, because it's about the idea that you need to bring into this present moment in time. This idea that I'm talking about, you had it last year, and then you stopped, and then the masks fell, and they were like, oh my God, do you know what I mean? So now this idea, you're only going to be able to kind of start properly, full on. Which months are we now? Next year. You're going to be able to start this idea properly next year. Okay, at around like maybe March next year, 2024, April 2024, May 2024. These months and this time, it's going to be important when it comes to that new idea, like becoming like part of your huge reality. I know it seems like a long time to get to there, but you know, this is something that really cannot be done much quicker, much sooner. But the longer it takes, the bigger impact on your life this is going to make. Okay, so this is like a very deep and it's very complex, and I just need you to keep this in mind. But going back to the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, you are going to become aware of this, you know, someone I'm sorry, please don't hate me. I'm going back to this, to the beginning of this week. So you're going to become aware of someone dishonest. And when you become aware of someone dishonest, you know what? This time it's going to feel different. This time it's gonna feel different. This time this is going to prove your point that you already knew. And this time as well, this is going to feel like a private achievement, which means that you are at the same time going to realize, because of that person being dishonest, I was unfocused, I was restless, I was burnt out, I was impulsive, I felt like I had no direction. You know, everything was unpredictable because you couldn't even use your intuition, the power of your intuition properly. So this also kind of delayed so much in your life, and it frustrated you, and it was holding you down. It was putting you in a mode to wait and to slow down, when you knew all along what the right choice for you is and what the right choice for you should be. So this in itself, it's all because you're going to become aware of somebody's greediness and people being greedy, and you're not going to like it. So this is why, you know, this is going to be such an important time for you, my gorgeous Aquamarini, indeed, in so many different ways. Look, because when I take this oracle card, okay, when I shuffle these oracle cards, okay, this is an impact that this is going to have. So don't, please, I'm not being like sad, dark, negative, but you know, your life has been really, really complex, and this is going to bring strength into your life, and it's going to bring confidence into your life. So it means that it was somebody very close to you, look at this, who was affecting you, and it was affecting your relationship with people in general as well. And that in itself is going to remarkably lead, look, towards love. Look at this. On one hand, you're going to be able to focus on love, on things that you love, on things that you are passionate about. But then on another hand, lots of you are going to feel like, I want to connect with the people, I want to see my best friends. Or lots of people are going to think like, oh, I'm ready to have some womanish time. Lots of you are going to think that you're ready for love. You see, like a love, like, hello darling, you know what I mean, that type of love. So it is like, it was kind of affecting you emotionally, you know, this is big. So this is why this is going to be so important indeed. And also, you are at the beginning of this week, you're going to have such a nice reward here, a really nice reward. And the reward that you're going to have, it's really kind of a lot to do with the fruits of labor, but at the same time, it's more about you being able to be the part of some kind of competition. And that means you being part of some kind of competition here means that you are going to be able to move on. You're going to be able to start the process of transition, the process of change. You will know exactly what you need to leave behind. You will know exactly what you need to release. You will know exactly which baggage do you need to get rid of and move on with your lives. This is why this is so important indeed. Okay, by the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarini, what you need to understand, it's now, ooh la la baby, you are gonna be a kind of thinking about some kind of plan from before. It is not the one that I said a year ago, that idea that you had. No baby, no. No baby, no. It's not the one that I had before. You remember I said you had an idea a year ago and then you left it behind, which you're gonna get back to it indeed, because it's gonna make you like so happy, so content. Like this is going to lead towards probably the most powerful achievement of your entire life on this earth, indeed, of your entire life, this life, because we live so many different lives indeed, but that's the whole different subject now. So what you're going to need to understand is that at around the midweek, you're going to feel like someone is really going to remind you of this, and someone is going to inspire you at the same time to revisit some kind of old plan. This in itself is going to require from you, you're going to be thinking about taking the next steps here, you know, but then you're going to realize really bold and ambitious choice. And that in itself, it's really going to make you to kind of like get in touch with people who kind of share your dreams. But at the same time, this is all about expanding your plans and continuing to move forward. But you need to remember one thing. You need to remember one thing, my gorgeous Aquamarini. In order to, you need to give in order to receive. I know it doesn't make sense now, but it most certainly will make sense later. You need to give in order to receive. By giving in order to receive, you're going to gain respect as a leader, which is going to bring a stability into your life, which is bringing structure into your life. And at the same time, it's bringing protection, control, a discipline and focus, especially when it comes to things that you should be doing that are really, really practical. And a couple of days after that moment in time, you are going to become aware of so much potential that is going to be keeping you going. And this potential that you're going to become aware of, it's a lot to do with like a finances and the financial opportunity, which is indeed going to lead towards a remarkable new idea, which is going to bring nothing but the actual success into your life, you know, through your sharp mind. Indeed, absolutely brilliant. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Aquamarine, it's going to be like a mental dream that you are going to have, a very strange and unusual dream. It's going to be very vivid. It's going to be very, very chaotic. And there are going to be so many things that are absolutely not going to be making sense to you whatsoever. And this is going to happen at the end of this week. So, my God, filled with people you don't know, filled with places we don't know, with situations that you're not familiar with situations that you don't recognize, but you're at the same time are going to feel very strong connection to what it is in this dream, what's happening in this dream. But you're not going to be able to explain nothing, like absolutely nothing. It's going to make sense in this dream whatsoever. And you're going to remember this and think like, oh my God, what? And you're going to say this to your best friend or someone, you know, I had this dream, it absolutely doesn't make sense. And then a couple of days later, suddenly something is going to happen to you. You're going to come across this really unusual situation, which is somehow going to remind you instantly of what you dreamed about. And suddenly you are going to be able to dissect something really specific. You're going to be able to remember something very, very specific about that dream. And this is when things are going to start making sense to you, okay? Because you're going to realize somehow that there's some kind of great sadness healed with, that you've been through for so long, healed with time. And this in itself, it's really going to reflect on your personal growth, you know, that you're going to realize that came from a challenge that you have actually been through. This is going to lead towards healing of some kind of misunderstanding, but also at the same time, it's going to heal towards an ending. It's going to lead towards an ending that is going to lead to new beginnings, okay? So this in itself, it's ultimately going to lead towards you understanding that you need to release situations and people right now that are holding you back, because you are going through a very, very powerful spiritual transformation, okay? Very, very powerful indeed. And also, my gorgeous Aquamarini, at around the end of this week, you know, you are gonna become aware of someone like being very deceptive and someone lying and someone getting away with something, you know, and that in itself, it's like a really gonna do you know what, this in itself, it's the fact that you are going to be able to kind of be aware of someone who kind of got away with something. It's again going to confirm the certain points to you, but it's also going to show you who do you need to protect. So someone getting away with something nasty here, it's not about that bastard here, but it's more about who do you need to protect. That is going to give you clear idea and indication who do you need to protect. You see what I mean? And also at around the end of the week, fantastic. I'm so glad about this. Fantastic, a brilliant accomplishment. This is going to make you feel whole. This is going to make you feel so good because it's to do with something that you've been working on for so long. This accomplishment, it's going to be everything because it's going to make you feel so happy. But also at the same time, you know, it is going to help you to reconnect with yourself because it's a lot to do with your inner calling, and it's a lot to do with you knowing and understanding like, oh my God, I'm about to enter a whole new phase, you know, in my life, which is going to be a really great moment of awakening where you are gonna still feel so angry about someone really specific that you instantly need to kind of forgive. Whatever you feel angry about, you need to release this and let go. I know it's easy for me to say to forgive and forget, but it's just about seeing that situation in a different life, you know, can make the whole world of differences in terms of spirit, soul, and the way we reflect on things is different, you see. So it's all about you understanding this, and then at the same time walking away from things that are kind of that have been making you so disappointed for such a long time indeed. This is all gonna lead, my gorgeous Aquamarini, towards like a personal celebration, you know, personal celebration, because the inner harmony, it's about to return. And this inner harmony, it's also like kind of like, oh my God, it's brilliant because now suddenly you are gonna start like kind of expressing yourself in a different way. You're gonna start feeling so much lighter, and really on a spiritual terms again, you're gonna return to yourself, and you're gonna start like kind of, you're gonna want to reconnect with the people who think like you, and you are suddenly gonna have this idea to do something on a spiritual level, you know, that you haven't done in ages. And this is when you're gonna realize, my God, something changed. Of course it did. You're entering a brand new phase of your spiritual journey. Okay, my gorgeous Aquamarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace, and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.